Hey everyone, welcome to a new malicious compliance video. The first story is called She Learned Her Lesson. At the time of this story, I was working at the Golden Arches. I was hired when I was 18, older than the usual crew. But I could work the overnight shift 10 or 11 PM to 7 AM. On these shifts there are usually only a kitchen crew member, me, and a manager on, with a service staffer only sometimes. These shifts were a little unpredictable and could go from quiet for hours, then 2 cars at once, want 80 nuggets and like 6 quarter-pounders each. Sometimes there are large sporadic rushes, particularly on the Friday and Saturday nights around 2 to 3 AM. Now, most managers were pretty chill. They let me listen to my music and eat on shift rather than take a solid break, as that left them to take, cook and serve the orders alone. They didn't make me pay for it, as I was doing them a favor by gradually taking my meal break while still working. A new manager, I call her Dumb Nugget, came on board. She decided that she was going to be a stickler for the rules. She explicitly told me that if I didn't pay for food, that I was stealing and that they would issue me a warning. So the first day with her, I paid. But I took a break and sat down with the food I bought. Only for a big order to come through and her to demand my help before releasing me back to my break. Managers at my store had 5 overnights in a row, then several days off. So I had dump nuggets the following night and the shift went as normal till 2:30 when I took my break. I cooked the McChicken, she yelled out to make sure I put it through and pay for it and to leave the receipt on the counter. She was counting stock or something like that and didn't trust me. Anyway, I did that and sat down in the dining section to eat when sure enough we got 8 cars in drive-thru full of drunk hungry people. Cue my malicious compliance. They are putting through the orders to the kitchen and I just sit and watch the screen fill up and go over the page, nibbling on my food, enjoying not being on my feet. Then the manager comes, screaming at me. "Why aren't you making the orders? This car has been waiting for over 5 minutes and nothing is ready." I just replied that I was on my break, and as I wasn't on the clock, I didn't need to make the orders. She yelled some more about how I was being rude and that I should be working and helping the store, aka her, as I was making the store, her, look bad to the customer for having to wait. I just said something like, "Well, don't have them wait any longer," and went back to my burger. I did this the rest of the overnights we had together, and she got madder each time, getting stuck doing it all by herself. It was quite entertaining. Now, I did enjoy her own sticking to the rules causing her trouble. But after Dumb Nugget was done with her overnights, I was working with one of the shill dudes again. I told them how they are gonna want to give Dumb Nuggets a what's up as to staff food on shift or all her overnights are going to be bad. Apparently they talked, because next time with her she didn't make me pay and things were a lot smoother for her from there on out. The next story is called Just Following Procedures. I worked at Walmart and I hated the spill rule. Here's the thing, if you don't follow the spill procedure, you get screamed at. But if you do, you get screamed at for wasting time. For context for those that have the absolute blessing of never working the hell that is Walmart. Procedure states you have to wait by the spill until another associate comes by. If it's a bad spill, you're supposed to help clean up the spill. We had a customer knock about 3 glasses off the shelf, breaking them. Per procedure, I waited by the spill. The next 10 minutes I was called for over and over and over and over on the intercom. It must have been announced about 4 times in under 5 minutes. For context, I put pallets of freight from the back room to the sales floor, so it wasn't life-threatening. Finally, another associate sees me, gets a broom, and we clean up the spill. As soon as I get to the back room, my supervisor gets at me. "You are needed here, not out there. You leave that to the sales team." The next day when I came in, I was written up for wasting time. When I explained what had happened, I was again told, "Well, next time you should just leave it." About a week later, we had a new guy working chemicals. Now, with backroom, we have to pull everything off trucks and stack it on pallets. And then pull those to the floor. He starts to pull the most unstable pallet I have ever seen. It was leaning before he left. He pulls it to the sales floor and gets all the way to cam with me behind him when it goes. Boxes on boxes fall and laundry detergent and fabric softener go everywhere. We are talking at least 7 bottles worth all over the floor and quickly into the woman's apparel section. I pull my pallet around and keep walking. As I'm coming back, I see him standing there. Looking bad, I feel bad for doing this, but at that moment I didn't care. I said, "You'll need some speed dry, ask Richard for some." He is the supervisor that wrote me up. And with that, I walked away. When management asked me why I didn't help, I straight up told them, "You told me not to worry about spills. That I should leave it for others and you wrote me up. I'm just following your instructions." I didn't get written up and never got in trouble for following procedures again. The third story is called I Took It All. My boyfriend and I broke up a few months ago, but there have been complications with the apartment because we are both on the lease. I found a new place to live and moved out last weekend. I got the important stuff out, but there were still a few small boxes left and I didn't go through the kitchen because I didn't know what my new roommate had. My ex helped me move and everything was going very well and we were being cordial. Well, last night my ex asked me to come over to pick up a few of the small boxes that were in the closet and to say hi to his dog who was sad that I was gone. So I go over there and we are hanging out. I play with his dog, everything is good. Then I asked him if he minded if I took the dish brush because my new house didn't have one. I asked because I bought it just a couple of weeks ago and I even splurged on a nicer one, like $5. I'm the only person in our relationship that ever bought household items like this. I just moved into a new place where the rent is higher. I've had to pay for a moving truck and all the other little things associated with moving somewhere new. The last thing I want to do is go to the store and drop another 50 or so bucks buying a bunch of little things I literally just bought a couple of weeks ago. Apparently, asking for the dish brush triggered him. He made the ridiculous dictate at 8 PM on Wednesday, mind you, that I could take anything that's mine tonight. Anything that was there when I left that night would be his property now. I, annoyed, said no, that I don't agree to this. I immediately said the dish brush was not a big deal. I told him that I did not come prepared with boxes or bags to get everything I wanted from the kitchen. I said I could do this tomorrow or any other day of his choosing. I begged him to compromise. I told him I wouldn't take the dish brush or anything that he said he wanted. However, he only tripled down and refused to budge from his ridiculous demand. So I became very irate. I told him that if he was going to make me move all my dishes out in plastic trash bags tonight, that I was going to take every last thing that was mine. Again, I'm the only person who ever bought anything like pots, spices, utensils or cleaning supplies. I was planning on leaving most of it with him because my new roommate already has a lot of this stuff. But at that moment I decided that if he was going to make such a ridiculous rule, then I would take it all. I took the dish brush, the sponges, used and unused, all my spices, the soap, the utensils, all the pots, the Tupperware, the toothpicks, the toilet paper, the pillows, the wall hooks, the coat hangers. I even took the light bulbs. I took it all. Did I yell? Yes. Was I petty? Absolutely. But I think it is quite petty to make a demand on the spot that everything I don't take tonight becomes his when this was not the pretense under which I came over, and I was obviously not prepared. The last story is called Prepare the Gold Members. When I was working as a pawnbroker at the most profitable store in my company, we took in a lot of DVDs. Standard pay was 50 cents a DVD, and people would come in with boxes, tubs, bags, and that one time an entire bed of pickup truck, stacked. So, needless to say, we had a lot of DVDs out for sale and in the bag. The reason we paid that low for them was that we didn't discriminate based on popularity or title. It was 50 cents if it was the rarest movie or the most common DVD. We also didn't catalog our DVDs, which made searching for them a waste of time. Unless you are me. I really loved organizing the DVDs, but not because I'm organized. Every time I was helping our customers out on the pawn line, I was also answering the phones, and my coworkers were also helping the customers. But they didn't like answering the phones. So I often volunteered to go clean the messy, unorganized and dusty DVD area and stop having to answer the phones for a while. And I became very familiar with our inventory. My boss got passed for a promotion to district manager and was very angry about it. But that didn't stop him from doing a really good job. So the boss that we will call Jim gets a call from corporate saying the new store we just opened needed some DVD inventory. Could we send over 200 or so? Jim agrees after asking if we have that many available in backstock. We do, and it won't even put a dent in our collection. At the time our inventory said we had roughly 6,000 DVDs. So Jim has me go up and pick a random 200 for transfer. I do that because I don't want my fellow broker screwing up my system. So I get the 200 and pack them in a box, wrap the box in cling wrap for security, and they are taken to the new store within an hour. 2 days later, Jim gets a call for another 200. I go do my thing, and same as yesterday, taken to the new store. 2 more days pass and another call comes in. Then it happens a 4th time and Jim is annoyed. We've sent them 800 DVDs and we aren't the only store to do so. At the time, our pawn store had around 22 locations. I'm also annoyed because I'm tired of having to box up DVDs every other day. It was getting old. So 2 more days pass and we get our 5th request. But this time there's an extra bit to the request. Could you include duplicates, please? Some of the DVDs are missing their discs and it's pretty annoying. Jim called me in to read that. We didn't check every case for this when we took them in, because I don't have the time to go over every case when people are bringing in literal pickup beds worth of DVDs. So when we saw that, we met eyes and grinned. What I didn't mention was that of the 6,000 DVDs we had, there was a good solid 1,000 of them that were only 2 titles. Austin Powers Goldmember and The Matrix Reloaded. So I went up to the DVD shelves and packed up only the Matrix DVDs into a box, wrapped it and sent it on its way. Jim got a call from the new store manager to thank him, because he thought it was hilarious. But for real, Jim, your brokers are slacking on DVD intake. They need to keep a better eye on DVDs or your guys' numbers will slip. We were the flagship store and all of our brokers were in the top 10. Can I get a real box of DVDs now? I still need duplicates. Jim, with the fakest, nicest voice goes, "Sure man, we will send you some more DVDs." He turned to me after he hung up and said the words I want on my gravestone: "Prepare the gold members." I boxed up every single Austin Powers Gold Members DVD we had in our store into 200 group boxes and we sent all of the boxes to the store. The store never asked us for DVDs again. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye bye.